Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I prepped up some bases. And if you go to Dollar Tree and you get this bag of reptiles, it features some mantises, or mantises. So what I want to do is I want to make some scary giant mantises to roam around in the Crowshriek and feed on people. And they've been drinking corrupted water provided by the unknown god for some time. And they have reached unnatural sizes. And they've developed a system for communication outside of normal eating their mates' heads. And I don't know much about mantises, whatever. I don't know what the plural is. That's how much I don't know about them. But I will say this. Anything that eats its mate's head should be dangerous enough to beat characters up. Especially if you mate with it. Dun dun dun. The quest, if you choose to accept it, Mr. Barbarian, is to mate with the mantis. If you mate with the mantis, it promises to leave the village alone. However, no weapons that you possess can pierce it outside of your secret sword. Gross. Ew. It's like an episode of Buffy I saw. Buffy. Love Buffy. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Michelle Rosen. I don't know her name. Trachtenberg? I don't know. What a cast. The only person on that show I did not like was Xander. Xander was, ugh. Giles was my favorite character, Anthony Stewart Head, and anything he's in is pretty good for the most part, in my opinion. I've seen him in a couple things, not a whole bunch, but he was awesome in Buffy, which makes him the best. David Boreanaz was far too brooding for me, and as someone you would consider to be a not handsome fellow, I'm offended by him. So these legs are obviously not going to stand nice as is, so we're going to have to do a little bit of work. And so to do that work, what I'm thinking is we can dab some glizzle and get those first ones in place. And of course, hot glue does not stick to baking powder well. So that was a stupid plan. A stupid and dumb plan. Let's try it again just in case. Could be operator error. But I kind of knew it wouldn't stick unless you brush these first. But I'm hoping since I went to the same region twice, I can get some results. Okay. So it looks like it wants to play. That being said, we'll get this leg on there. Nope. Okay. So no bueno, which is French for didn't work. Je ne parle pas le français. So let's do it a different way. We will slowly but surely force this to comply with our will through the force of chemistry. We will create something amazing. So to do that, we're going to do that. And that. And that will soak in. And we'll give it a moment and see how sturdy it was. And it worked out pretty well. So let's do it again. We're going to flip it around this way so we can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to get a little dibby dab of the old glizzle. And let's sprinkle some glue, some dust dizzle. Yes I am. And I'm going to let that soak for a second and sit. Okay. Oh, no, no. Stick, stick, stick. Stick, stick, stick. Do what I wish. Okay. Power of science is not on my side today, friends. Okay. Stay. That one's stuck perfect. This one's just not behaving. Okay. Is it going to stay now? Yeah, it wants to believe. It wants to behave. All right, so this leg is wonky and bad. So what I'm going to do is just heat that up with the minor burning hand spell and straighten it out some. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. A little bit of minor burning hand spell. And I need a little bit more effort there. Come on, maximum effort. Okay, that's going to do it. Now we can probably do 2 at a time over here if we are careful and wise. A lot of ifs involved in this. We probably could do 2 at a time, but I have decided we are not going to do 2 at a time. We'll do 1 at a time for maximum safety reasons. And then get that one on there. Boop. Come on, Big Papa. Get on there. Get on there, Big Pepper. All right. Not bad. Let's hold it up to a regular mini and get an idea how big that's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be scary. And we'll do 2 of those. Don't bring me down, Bruce. Bruce. There we go. Stick on to the base, dude. Stick on to the base. Do it for America. All up in your face. Come on, do what I want. This is an amazing process that you will enjoy for days to come. All right, let's get that glue. There we go. Soak in there. Oh, shit. Bad things have happened. We are in the middle of a crisis. Can I fix it? No. No. Okay. Wow, I kind of like that one being up like that, but I don't know how I can make that work. Can I make those legs soft enough to bend down that far? Oh. Sturdy, not so much. Can I do that? Leg there. Leg there, the musical. Come on, give me some glue. Some glue, dabba-dee-dabba-die. Sorry, I'm weird tonight. I'm very tired. All right. Come on. Okay. Let's see if we can... Okay. So they're a little bit slightly similar, but slightly different angles. I'm not sure how sturdy they are. Their legs are really thin, and I don't like that. And I don't necessarily love the angles of those legs. So let's see if I can't stretch him up a little bit. There we go. Just like that. Let me walk over here by the fan. Use my box. I'll be right back. One at a time. On. Two. And there was just two. Oh man, let's see what's in this reptile bag. I know there's some mantises in the reptile bag, and then there's some scorpions, some ants, some beetles, spiders, 2 frogs, and 2 geckos. Nice. I have a container for just such creatures. I'll dump those in there. There we go. Perfect. Now I have this awesome bag that I can use for something. All right, let's get these and hit them with the magical +5 hot air gun of burning. So, to paint these, I'm going to use some of this burnt umber paint and a largish brush. I'm going to dampen in the brush. This is chunky paint. Get some more of that chunky paint. Let's get that all painted brown. On the base. Start at the base. You like it a base? I like it a base. Slap at the base. Oh man, that's a good movie. I Love You Man. With Paul Rudd and that other guy that's funny. I can't think of his damn name. Funny guy. Oh, can't really look it up right now while I'm making a video, can I? For those of you that know the name of the other funny guy that's in that movie, that's on the tip of my damn tongue, go ahead and tell me the name of the guy in the Slap at the Base movie, I Love You Man. I think that movie's called I Love You Man. The premise is that Rashida Toledo, El Budo, whatever her name is, that whiny activist lady, is going to marry Paul Rudd. And I'm thinking to myself, what a catch. Because that dude is Ant-Man. You're going to marry Ant-Man. Now, I didn't know he was Ant-Man at the time, so let's go back in time. You're going to marry the funny guy who was in that D&D movie with Stifler. What a review. So anyways, back to the story. Rashida Daliba's going to marry Paul Rudd. But she has decided that he doesn't have any man friends. So she says, dude, I think it's Rashiba Babaliba. I can't remember. Anyways, Paul Rudd's in it. And some funny guy. Can't think of his name. Damn it. I have to look it up after this. So anyways, she's like, dude, you got no guy friends. I think you might be gay, so we can't get married or something. Go get a guy friend so I know you're not gay. Or something like that. I don't know. So he goes to like an open house for like to buy a house. And he meets a dude. They hit it off. They fall in love. It's pretty great. They listen to Styx, which is pretty great. I like Styx too. And then they become best friends. And then the other dude's like, hey, don't marry Rashiba Baliba, so we can listen to Styx all the time. But he marries her anyways. And then the movie ends. I should totally do movie reviews while I make miniatures. I will now review the first Dungeons and Dragons movie with one of the Wayans brothers. Damon, I think. Or maybe it's Keenan. I don't know. There's a bunch of Wayans brothers. I don't know all their names. The one that's in Scary Movie. And D&D. So, anyways, the dude from Scary Movie, Big Ray, Uncle Ray, whatever you want to call him, Ray, is a thief. And he's friends with a dude who could have easily been a fighter or something else, but is also a thief. And he's got a dumb kind of parted hair bowl cut, and he's very 90s chic, semi-good-looking, generic white guy. The two thieves befriend the worst dwarf in any movie ever. So bad. So damn bad. All right, we're going to get a very light green color. And try to paint these guys up with a very light green color. And they go on some kind of adventure and they fight a guy and they win. Was it a good movie? Not really. No, not so much. This green has good coverage for being a craft paint. I'm surprised. Speaking of good coverage, I don't care how good the coverage is. I do want to hit pretty much all of it, though, and not miss much. I did not dry the brown properly. That's okay. We'll be all right. We will make it work. Kind of like how Palpatine made it legal. We wouldn't make it legal. My voice isn't back yet. I can't be doing voices. So anyways, then there was a second Dungeons and Dragons movie that had like a retired fighter that was a town guard who went and fought one of the same bad guys from the first one. Believe it or not, he sure did. Neither one of those movies were as good as Knight's Tale, and as a giant D&D fan, my heart was broken. Then I saw some other movie called Mystic or something, and it had some chick with a bum leg in it. It was pretty good. It was a better D&D movie than either of the D&D movies were. And then they have this one, Honor Among Thieves. It's a D&D movie, too. It's actually not terrible, and it has Paul Rudd in it. So, I give it a 2 out of 10 for Paul Rudd. You're probably thinking, oh my God, Doom, are you in love with Paul Rudd? No, I'm not. But I want him to come play D&D with me. Why? Why do you want him to play D&D with you? Well, so I saw this movie where him and Stifler had to help kids that were bad, or that were like in a kids after school program or something. And then they made their own country for the, what do you call that? LARPing, live action role playing, called Kiss My Anthea, and it was Kiss themed, and it was amazing. And Augie, which was played by the Red Mist, and also known as McLovin, was in it. And I think that kid, his name's Chris something, is a pretty good actor too. I don't know what the guy that played the little kid's name was, and I don't know if I've seen him in anything else, but I don't watch an enormous amount of movies either. I don't watch any television either. So unless it was like something I could binge on Netflix, like when I'm sick or something, when I can't physically be doing things, or something I can listen to in the background while I'm doing other stuff, I haven't seen it. Did watch all the Netflix Marvel stuff they did, like all the stuff that led up to the Defenders, which, by the way, should have been called Heroes for Hire. I don't know why it wasn't, and it broke my heart. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's over and done with, and now Marvel has a hold of it, so it'll be ruined. Thanks, Marvel, for ruining my childhood. Go straight to hell. Though I do love Anthony Mackie as Captain America, and I know there's some controversy about that right now, but Sam Wilson's probably one of my favorite iterations of Captain America because he didn't have the advantages that U.S. Agent or Bucky Cap had or that Cap had. He was just kind of a dude. And even though he was not Cap for an enormous amount of time, when he was Cap, he was awesome. There's been a couple iterations of Cap back in the day. I haven't read all the new stuff. If it's like beyond 2010, like once I got into my like 30s probably. So how old am I now? 45. So 2000 and yeah, I don't know. 2020 was probably, or 2010 is probably the last year I did any comic reading of any kind because it just, I felt like the storylines were getting very tired, and how many times could this happen, and how many times can you reboot Spider-Man, and I just kind of quit reading comics. And plus, like in every crossover, for some reason, for a long time there in the early 2000s, every crossover tried to use Wolverine as part of it, and that gets old, because how many Wolverine stories can there really be? Come on, dude, you have so many amazing heroes in Marvel. Why is everything about Wolvie? Always. I think it was because they were seeing so much success with the 2007 X-Men movies. I think that's 2007. The ones that had Famke Janssen as Jean Grey and James Marsden or whatever. The dude from Disturbing Behavior, whatever his name was. I think that was a lot of it, was they were just latching on to the success of those movies. And so Wolverine, who, by the way, Hugh Jackman didn't even know Wolverine was a type of creature. He was, like, doing research about wolves before he played the role. So he obviously should not have been Wolverine. But he was, so we can't really go back in time and make him not Wolverine, little bastard. A lot of people thought he was a really good Wolverine. I don't know, maybe he was. So I'm going to get this yellow here. And I'm going to get a little bit on this makeup brush from the Dollar Tree. And I'm wipe a lot of that off. And then I'm just going to come back. And I'm just going to do some variation on the undercoat here and there. I'm not worried about doing an enormously good job because I'm going to come back and hit this with speed paint after I touch up the base. Okay. I will tell you now, my first instinct is to bolo, or call this project a bolo, and to scrap it. The legs are warped from me using the lighter, trying to straighten them out, and there's just a ton of other problems that I don't like with them. But we're going to work with it, because sometimes it's important to have stuff to put on your table, and sometimes terrible mistakes end up being something that are endearing or even pleasant about a craft. So, as I've said in the past, perfection is not a prerequisite of a good craft. It was true when I said it before. It's still true tonight. It might even be true tomorrow. Okay. What we really want to focus on is getting that bright green off the base and not destroying any of the green on the legs. A little bit of brown hitting the legs won't break the game, but it's not ideal. Just putting a little bit of extra effort into the cleanup around the legs. Now, my thought is by mid 30 minutes-ish, we'll have two decent looking-ish dudes to throw on the tabletop. Okay. Decent coverage there. Let's get crappy brush. Something like that with plasticky bristles. Put my good brush away. That's not good, but it's gooder. Something fell over there. It scared the hell out of me. I'm going to get a medium brown. This is called Melted Chocolat. And I'm just going to throw some variation down there. I did not do a good job on the sides of these. I'm going to come back and hit these with this lighter brown color, just to make sure the sides of the base aren't red. And then I'm going to throw some of that brown in there. Look at that. And I want the bases to kind of match. All right. Now let's hit them with the air gun. Let's get some glue. Clear glue. Glump, glump. Come on, give me some of that precious clear stickiness. There we go. Doop. I'm going to use a cheap brush to get in here because I have a good bit of glue I want to put on these. I want to make some pretty grassy looking areas. Because I want to cover up some of the terribleness of the base. In areas where I did not paint well, I'm going to hide those with some glue and some flock. And that'll fix my base drama pretty well, I'm thinking. Okay, let's see how we did. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now, what will it be? Alright, sweet. So I'm glad I kept this piece of plastic, because for its first purpose it'll be used for is I'm going to get some green speed paint. And I'm going to get this color called Absolution Green. I'm going to shake it up really good. And I'm going to get some of that. Look at that. I'm going to get a crappy bigger brush, soft. I'm going to hit this guy up. Be real careful not to get it on the base, or you'll just destroy any of the work we did. Now, if there is any detail on these minis at all, this Absolution Green will find it for me. I don't use speed paints often. You could easily make yourself a green wash for this, and it probably would not do as well, but it would be comparable at a less time. You know, it costs more time, but you could do it, and it would be okay. I don't use a whole lot of speed paints when I'm making videos because I don't want you to think you have to have speed paints to be successful or to have nice stuff on your tabletop. But sometimes I just think it's the way to go. Like tonight, I just thought it would be easy and nice. Okay. I hope I got most of it. I can't really tell. I don't see any of that light green sticking through, so I must have got it all, or at least close enough. So I did the Absolution Green on that one. It looks okay. Let's see what other green I have. I have orc skin. You could easily do these in the same color. The reason I'm not doing mine in the same color is because... Oh, I forgot about this orc skin. Anyways, the reason I did not do mine the same colors is because when I have them both on the tabletop for a fight, what I want people to say, or what I want to be able to do, is to look at them and say, okay, you know, light green, dark green, or bright green, dim green, whatever, so I can differentiate between the two on my initiative tracker page, which my initiative or not my monster tracker page, which is really just an index card that I write on until there's no room left on it continuously. And then I try not to save them, but I have a bad habit of keeping stuff, and I could probably flip through and tell you what fights we did for the past 30 nights in my little stack of index cards. Probably. Maybe not. Maybe not the past 30 nights of game, but every so often I'm like, I gotta get rid of some of these index cards, and I do. But when I say I gotta get rid of them, sometimes I just put them on my clipboard, because what if I had an idea, or I wrote a note down on that index card, or something interesting that occurred to me about a fight, and I want to look it back up. Because I do take notes on that kind of stuff occasionally. Alright, so looking at this guy, we're mostly done here. I don't see any more of the yellow sticking through. Okay. Sweet. Let me put this back in here. I have another purpose for this plastic. Something I'm going to be working on. I have lots of plastic. I don't need to keep that plastic, I suppose, but if I have a use for it, might as well use it. And let's hit these guys with the low air. And I'm just trying to dry their eyes off mostly. I want you to feel like you're on an episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And I'm going to go out of my way to give you that experience, my friends. I'm just getting a small brush. Some of this red paint. And just throw some eyes on this real quick. I'm not even doing a beautiful job. That's what it'll look like. Something like that. Well, we're just after 33 minutes here. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please do me a favor and do all the algorithm god stuff. You know, like and subscribe and comment and notification bell. But the important stuff. Do all that. Please. I have somebody requested me to do a ruins with like Roman columns in them or something. I have to look at the comments again and see exactly what it was. I am going to get to that, and it's going to be in this series. I just needed to make a stop somewhere and get something that I thought would make the craft easier on myself, and then we will get to that. So don't think that if you left that comment that I'm ignoring you. I am not. I will get to it, and it will work really well in this series, especially for the boss fight that we're going to be doing in the Crowshriek. Because, yes, there will be a boss fight in the Crowshriek because, well, boss fights are fun. And in the Mire of Misery, we had the Witch. And in the Library of Delison, we had the Head Librarian. We have the Mayor and Berg, which we're not done with that yet. There's a lot of work to do on Berg still. But we got to have the things that lead up to that. So we're just kind of going in order. So when you are in Berg, you're going out to all these other areas like the Mire of Misery, the Lumber Camp, the Crowshriek. You know, these are all just places that are within like adventuring distance of Berg. Maybe I should put a map somewhere so people can see what's going on here. And I do want to show you guys how to run those fights, and I've not done that yet. And mostly it's just a matter of time, and it's hard to go upstairs and set stuff up and record because I have two little men, and they want to be involved in everything I do. It's very difficult to force time for that. So thanks for watching. Check out the website and buy some miniatures. Not these ones, the real Dungeon Swag miniatures. Beautiful, high quality 3D printed resin miniatures that are flexible and sturdy and not like the ones that shatter all the time. and go to the Discord. Hang out with us. I'm currently playing a lot of Quinfall. Some of the other guys are too. You're welcome to hang out there. Mrs. Doom's playing it. No women are playing with us besides Lady Doom, though. It's kind of weird. Anyways, her sisters both have it. They're triplets, so the triplets all have it. They're just not playing it right now. But it's a fun game. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.